Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and this is the Frontline Changes Report. Commander, do press the like button and to launch the surface to air missile system because we have detected a floating balloon. I mean the balloon floats. Not necessarily. But anyway, I just finished a 6 hours DPA open mic. We discussed a lot of things and I think you should be interested. The link is in the link at the end of this video. Do check it out, or if not, just search on YouTube DPA open mic and you can find the channel easily on every platform. So I'm going to start off with the Frontline Changes report. There's changes over at Novoselivske, Novo-Oleksandrivka, Sokil, Krasnohorivka, and Volodymyrivka. So all the frontline changes is in favor of the Russians. So not a good situation right now for the Ukrainians. Change the colors, so not so scary. I'm not a thief, I'm a Jedi. Anyway, the first frontline change is over at Novoselivske, over at the Sviatove front. So at Novoselivske, the Russian forces are geolocated on the western part of this small little town, which confirmed that the Russians have taken control. That's a bit thick. Let me reduce the size. So again, less thick, less thick. More nicer. So the Russian forces have basically more or less seems to confirm the control of the entire town. We don't have the little bit up in the northwest, but based on logical sensing and thinking, most likely the Russians have most of the settlement, but we cannot confirm just based on my guesswork. So this is what it is. So some frontline changes over at Novoselivske. The next frontline change is far away over at Novo-Oleksandrivka at the Avdiivka front. This is a massive update over at the Novo-Oleksandrivka in the northern part of the Avdiivka front. Ukrainian mapping Deep State UA has confirmed that the Russian forces have captured the entire of Novo-Oleksandrivka. This is a major news. And this comes after they geolocated Russian forces in the westernmost position in the settlement, which then they proceeded to map the entire of Novo-Oleksandrivka as under Russian control. So this signifies a massive change. Ukrainians theoretically still have this major heavy entrenchment on the western outskirts of Novo-Oleksandrivka. It remains to be seen the Ukrainians are still here to fight the Russians. So this is something very significant over at this area. So south of this position, over at Sokil, also some massive change over at this area here. At Sokil, Russian forces have expanded their control. I have to zoom out a bit. In the northern part, north of Sokil, the Russian forces have taken more grounds, except for this trench lines, trench defensive positions. This is not taken, and the Russians have also taken up to half of Sokil right now, as they continue to advance from this heavy entrenchment region. However, it is important to note that Ryba, the pro-Russian source, claims that they do not have this information. So they say that they saw that the pro-Ukrainian side is talking about the Russians capturing the entire heavy entrenchment, and they claim that maybe this is going to be used to later for the Ukrainians to retake the entire entrenchment. So Ryba actually warning about it, that maybe the Russians actually do not have this much progress and that the Ukrainians may actually still be here, and they are just creating this information. They're preparing this information space to later claim that they have retaken this defensive position. So I do not know what to think. I mean, Ryba is not wrong in the sense that all the information about this Russian push is all Ukrainian. The pro-Russian side have never claimed this much capture. So the Russians, I think they are still outside. They are still on. So they still have not claimed any of the capture of this thing. So they could have the logic that this is just information warfare for the Ukrainians to later retake the entrenchment. But purely on information space only. In reality, maybe it's still under Ukrainian control. So this is something that is important to note, that there is this discrepancy as well. So The next frontline change is over at the Battle of Krasnohorivka. So at the Krasnohorivka, Russian forces now have geolocated in a new position over on this western part of Krasnohorivka, signifying some frontline change over here. So I zoom in a bit, you can see that the Russians are here, which means that they have captured around this area here, which means that at least some part of this area is now invalidated, which is the Ukrainians have not acknowledged this claim, this capture. So the Russian forces are continuing to progress west on those western part of Krasnohorivka, and which is what we have previously spoke about, because a push up here could just force the Ukrainians to redraw, because they cannot find space to redraw from this position or resupply, and because the roads are all linked. Sorry, wrong color. It's all this way. These are the main roads. So if the Russians can reach these 2 points, then the Ukrainians over here would be operationally encircled. So which is why the Russian push in this direction makes a lot of sense. So this is the frontline change over at Krasnohorivka. The last frontline change is yet another massive change over in the north of Volodymyrivka towards the Vodian direction. This Volodymyrivka is south of here. So this Volodymyrivka. So a massive change, as you can see. This is based on the Ukrainian mapping. Russian forces have this massive update. Deep State UA have updated this frontline change. And this change is massive, is huge. We are talking about the maximum depth. The furthest point, we are talking about 2 kilometers, over 2 kilometers deep movement, and the entire front line in this map is around 7 kilometers. So a massive frontline change over at this northern part of Volodymyrivka, and this basically secures Volodymyrivka and continue to put pressure on the Ukrainians, and this continues to support my theory that there's a high chance that the defensive position in this area has been totally broken, and the Russians are now overrunning Ukrainian positions at east. Ukrainians may not be defending this position effectively anymore, as the Russians have already overrun their main defensive line, and they are just desperately holding whatever they can while the Russians are making this push, and some Ukrainian troops may just redraw from this area here. This is the current situation that I've seems to observe. So, and this also means that the Russians are pushing in multiple vectors. These are all different vectors the Russians are pushing, or is a separate force. These are all different separate forces that is currently making this advancement. So Ukrainians will have to react to all of them in order to stop this push towards Vodian. Anyway, this is just a frontline changes report, because I just finished 6 hours of DPA open mic. I don't want to do the sit rep. I can actually do this quick update in terms of the frontline changes to keep you updated in the latest information. And yeah, the Ukrainians are still losing quite badly right now, and I will do the sit rep later, maybe after I take a nap or something, have a sleep or whatever. Yeah, later. Anyway, thank you for watching. Do press the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next update.